Hey, what's up everybody? Back again today with another video for the channel. Right off the bat, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. My last couple of videos, I have been getting a lot more comments and a lot more questions, so I really appreciate the interest, and I'm glad that I'm putting something out there that actually draws you guys interest in things you want to talk about, and something that actually can maybe help you with your fishing. And with some of the comments I've gotten, it's stuff that's actually opened my eyes to a couple of things too. Being that I had some questions, I'm going to real quick touch on some of them pertaining to my last video on this slider worm setup. So a couple of people had said, because of my camera angle, so that's on me, that's my bad. So I've adjusted it today, so hopefully you'll be able to see the baits and the things I'm talking about a little bit clearer. But actually a couple people asked me for a little bit close-up video of the jig heads, just for I guess for ordering purposes. They wanted to be able to see a better angle of them. So this is the 16th ounce Spyder Pro slider head, and I'm hoping putting my hand up there will help a little. You can tell if you go on the Bass Pro Shops, Tackle Warehouse, or sliderfishing.com, which is Charlie Brewer's website, sliderfishing.com, you can tell that the Pro heads have the stouter hook I was talking about. This is the 16th ounce. This is the 8th ounce, the one I use most often. And this is the 3/16 ounce. And as I said, they all have a stouter hook than the regular slider head jigs that he makes that are primarily used for crappie fishing and pan fishing. Now I did leave out one that I have used on occasion that's also one of his jig heads. But this is the 8th ounce with the wide gap, the EWG hook, which is also a good hook. So if you're fishing with like a bigger Senko or maybe a bigger creature bait, I have used this at times. I don't use it as often as the 8th ounce with the regular 2/0 hook, but this is another good choice if you want to use the slider head, for rigging up your plastic. Thanks again for all the questions and comments. Like I said, it's really appreciated. Bass Pro Shops, Tackle Warehouse, and Charlie Brewer's website, sliderfishing.com. Those three, I know you can order those jig heads. There may be others that carry them. I'm just telling you who I've ordered from in the past and who I usually order from. Today's video the topic is going to be flat side crankbaits and how they excel in colder water. The last couple of months, I have been fishing, and most of the fishing I've done has been with flat side crankbaits. Once the water temperature gets 60, or below 60 I should say, I start throwing a flat side. Some people wait till the water gets colder, and like I said, with these videos, I'm just basing it on my experiences. So once I see the water temperature get below 60, I start throwing a flat side. The colder the water gets, the more of them I'll have tied on, because I have seen over the years that as the water gets colder, the flatter, or the thinner I should say, the bait is, the tighter the vibration gets, and I dictate which bait I'm going to throw by how cold the water is. That's what has worked for me, and that's what I continue to do. In clear water, the color selection is pretty simple. Right now, everyone's going to the red crawfish colored flat sides. From now until probably pre-spawn, early pre-spawn, a jerkbait, a flat side, in a jig is probably going to be the 3 baits that I'm going to throw the most, and I have the most confidence in a flat side. So that's why I chose to do video on this as far as cold water fishing. It's just the kind of style and crankbait that I have the most confidence in. They just want that tight vibration as the water continues to get colder. And we've had a lot of cold weather here lately, so I'm sure the water around here, I haven't been in like 3 weeks, but I'm hoping in the next weekend or 2 to get back out there. And I'm sure a lot of the fishing I do is going to be with a flat side. So having said that, let me show you some of the baits that I have a lot of confidence in when throwing a flat side crankbait in colder water. Now back in, I'm going to say the old days, when I first started out, there weren't a lot of flat sides, at least it didn't seem like they were to me. But one of the ones that everyone used to throw was the old Bomber Flat A. And they had this in a shallow and a deep version. I never had very many colors of this, and I threw it about this time of the year because a lot of the older guys that I knew from my first bass club, it was a staple to them. So they beat you with it enough times, you start buying them and throwing them yourself. Just the crawl color, and that's a shad, Tennessee shad color. They used to make a red, orangish color also, but I have not seen that color as often as I used to, and I don't have one of those anymore. That's really the only 2 colors of the Flat A that I have left. Another bait that's worked really well for me, and I've only got one of these left. I had 2 of them. I bought them at a tackle shop that was going out of business. I'm pretty sure this was called a Tennessee Killer. Like I said, I had 2 of these. I do not know how many fish I've caught on this one. The other one I actually got broke off by a big fish, but it dives about 7 foot, really, really tight action, and this is just one that I keep tied on from now until March. Everywhere I go, I'll be throwing this some, and depending on how it's bit, sometimes it stays on my rod all day, on one of my cranking rods. The Berkley Fritz side is another one that's really popular now. It's come on in the last year or 2, and it's a real popular. This is the Fritz side 5, and I throw the 5 and the 7. Honestly, I've had a lot more luck with the 5 than I have the 7. I think this color actually is called Lone Ranger, and this is just a brown, natural brown crawl with the orange belly. Another good flat side. Now this flat side, when the water gets down below, I'm going to say when it gets closer to say 52 and below, I don't throw this as much just because in my experience, like I said, this is a thicker flat side. The wobble or the vibration is not quite as tight. So I'd say between 58 down to 53, I'll throw this a lot. And as the water starts to get colder, I'll go to one which has got just a thinner diameter on the thickness of the bait. This color right here is a really good color in the spring. Catch a lot of fish with that color, the red, black back, and the orange belly. But like I said, in the spring, and starting even right now, all into the spring, everybody knows red is the deal. I mean, different variations of it depending on your watercolor and stuff like that. If you got real dirty, dingy water, you might have to go to a chartreuse or something brighter. But the red crawl, you can't go wrong with it with a flat side this time of the year. This Doji Tiny, I'm sure I've touched on a couple of these before in one of the other cranking videos I did. But the Tiny, this one goes about 4 feet, 3.5, 4 feet on 12-pound line. And this is the Slim. another OG series, the Rapala OG Octafo series. This is the Slim. Now, when the water temperature gets below, I'd say 48 degrees, you pretty much are looking to throw a jerk bait and a jig and one of these. This is the Shad Rap. Now, I consider it a flat side. Maybe some people don't, but I do. This is the number 8, and this is either a 5 or a 6. But the Shad Rap, when that water temperature gets down to the low to mid 40s, it'll still get you bites, and it really probably outproduces any of the flat sides at that point when the water gets that cold. Don't know how many I've caught on these over the years. Haven't had to throw it much the last couple of years because the water temperatures around where I live haven't gotten cold enough and stayed there where this is coming to play as much. But when it gets, like I said, low to mid 40s, you can't go wrong with the Shad Rap. And this is the color I've had the most luck with. I think this is brown craw, and this is just like a Tennessee shad color. You've heard me talk a lot about Black Label, balsa. Every bait I have bought off that website I've caught a fish with. Every one. Even the ones during the summer that weren't flat sides. I've pretty much been throwing flat sides for the last month and a half or so. This is the Black Label Slim. It's a thinner diameter on that bait. This is the little Cliffy. And this is the Bacon. The Bacon has been like, you know, in a couple of different colors. The Candy Dolphin color is the one I've mentioned the most. That bait, and this is a pretty thick bait as far as, you know, the thickness of the bait and the vibration. But it's still been getting me bites. So all of these Black Label baits, as far as the flat sides go, and any bait I've ordered off that website, they have been fish catchers for me. They're more expensive, but if it catches fish, you're always willing to pay, you know, pay the extra. So I can't say anything bad to this point about any of the Black Label baits. I literally caught a fish on every single one I have in my box, and I don't know how many of these I have now, but it's to the point where I need to get a box just for Black Label stuff because I've purchased so many of them. These last two, as far as baits that I've got a lot of confidence in, I throw a lot. This is the PH Custom Lures Skinny P in the money color, and this is the old school, also off the PH Custom Lures website. This is the Wesley Strader WS1, and this comes in a 2 and a 3. Those models dive a little deeper. This red with the black back and the orange belly, I've done real good at Kerr and Gaston in the early spring with this bait on days when I haven't done as well with others. I'm anxious to see what the Black Label stuff does for me because I've got tournaments coming up at Gaston and Kerr, so I'm anxious to see what those do for me there. But this is the money color. And hopefully with the camera angle I've got now and the way I got it set up, you guys can see this stuff better. There's one bait that came out last year or the year before. Strike King came out with something called the Chick Magnet. I think it was designed by Andy Morgan. And I have not thrown these, but I have bought several of them, and I'm anxious to give them a try. They're pretty thick. I don't know what kind of vibration, how tight of action they'll have, but they're good looking baits, and as soon as I get a chance to throw them, I'll give you some feedback on them. To this point, I haven't used them at all. So, as far as flat sides go, it's just something I got a lot of confidence in when the water's cold. From now until March, I will be throwing a lot of flat sides. Some day, I usually have 4 rods set up for cranking. 3 out of the 4 might have a flat side on, depending on what the day is going like. It's just a confidence bait, and especially over the last, I'd say, 5 to 7 years, as I fished them more and more and seen the differences in the thickness of the bait and the water temperature, and when to go thinner and when to use a thicker bait. It's just been something that's really been working for me. I hope this helps somebody catch more fish. That last video I made, like I said, that was just something, a technique that I like to fish with the Charlie Brewer slider head. You know, and when I made that video, I had no idea so many people would relate to it and have, you know, so much good conversation could come from it. So every time I do a video, my hope is that it's something that'll, one, help somebody else catch fish or help them enjoy their time on the water, at least maybe get someone thinking about another way they can put fish in the boat, or, you know, if you're a pond fisherman or a kayak fisherman, whatever it is that get you to the water, whether it's your feet, it's your boat, your kayak, whatever it is. I just want to be able to relay some of the things that I've learned from fishermen over the years, from club tournament fishing to, you know, just buddies that I've spent time in the boat with. And every time I do a video, that's what my hope is, that I'm able to do that. So I've got some other, you know, other ideas and other videos for different baits and techniques I've learned, and pretty soon I'm going to be getting back on the water. First tournament's in 3 weeks. So I'm going to start getting stuff set up to get back out there. I've got to put a new piece of electronics I'm going to put on my boat, and I got to get that done. And you can't see it, but everything's in here is a wreck, and it's from doing videos, getting tackle and rods and stuff over the holidays, and now it's time to get all this stuff cleaned up and get back to fishing. And those other videos that you know, I think people really like to see is the fish catches and the on the water stuff. And when I get on the water, I'm going to start completely breaking down everything I'm doing, showing you what I'm catching them with and what baits I'm using. I'm going to show you everything. It's all going to be on camera, and I'm going to give it all to you. And I'm going to be showing you guys on all my on the water trips. I'm going to show you the rod, the reel, the line, the baits, everything that's helping me catch fish that day. I'm going to be relaying it to you guys, and I hope that it'll give you ideas and things to try and do to put more fish on the end of your line too. So I'm looking forward to getting back out there. My goal is to get to 2 videos a week. Right now I'm averaging about 1. I want to do an on the water video and a video here in my shop. So that's what that's what I'm looking at doing as soon as I can get back out on the water, and that'll be that'll be happening pretty quick. So tournaments are right around the corner, and I just, like I said, I'm gonna bring you guys along for everything I do pertaining to fishing, tournaments, fun fishing. I'm going to do new bait stuff. I'm going to do on the water, first time on the water challenges of bodies of water I've never fished before, because there's plenty of that around here where I live now. And I don't want to do what everyone else is doing, but I'm going to do a mix of things. I like to camp. Some of my tournaments will end up being weekend trips, and I'll be camping, and I'll be making videos about that as well. But the main thing is things that I can do to show people and help people catch more fish. That's the ultimate that this channel's about. So thanks again for watching, for all the likes and the comments. And if you're watching but haven't subscribed, I've asked that you would subscribe, so every time something new comes out on my channel, you'll know about it. Rick's Fishing Fix. that name and everything about this channel is about my love of fishing, and hopefully sharing the things I've learned and the things that have worked for me over the years, relaying it to everyone that watches, and it helps you as well. So thanks again for watching, and everybody have a good day, and I'll see you again soon, and tight lines. Thank you.